Yay! The prep vlogs are back! You guys, I am back and we're doing another prep series. I am doing the FMG show in Las Vegas in November this year. And this is the first time I've ever prepped for a show and it's only one singular show. I've always done at least 2, if not 3 or 4. And this is the first time I'm like literally competing one time. I'm gonna be on stage for one time. That's terrifying, but also so exciting. So the prep vlogs are coming back and I thought we would start this series with another Q&A because I haven't done one in a long time. And thank you so much for the quality of questions that I got asked. Most of the time it's always very like generic, kind of like, what do you eat? How do you work out kind of questions. And this time it was really personal and they were very like thought out, which I really appreciate. So thank you. And I will do my absolute best to answer them as quickly as possible. I'm going to cover a couple of the generic questions that I got a million times as well, just all in one. So currently I am 20 weeks out, or now 19 weeks out. No, I'm not going to compete with any other federations. I'm only ever going to compete with FMG from now on because I'm a pro and I don't want to lose my pro card because it's an honor to have. I was bulking around 2,000 calories, maybe 2,100-ish calories for the last like 6 months of my life. And now my initial drop is down to about 1,750, like 1,700 calories for my initial cut. And then my calories more than likely will go down a lot more than that during this process, depending on what my coach wants. I'm coached by Scott Goebel and I find him the most amazing coach. He's the best and I can't imagine going with any other coach at this point. He's just a perfect match for me. The lowest my calories got last time was like maybe, I actually can't remember. I don't want to say a number just in case, but I'm pretty sure peak week would be around like 900, 1,000, something like that. So competing is not healthy. The calories are not healthy. We all know this. Currently, I'm doing absolutely no cardio, but I probably will have to do cardio sadly, even though I hate it. So Scott tends to give me about like an hour a week, usually during prep, and I can split that up as much as I like. That tends to be what my body responds to, but we'll see this time how my body reacts to the deficit and everything like that. I'm currently doing 15,000 steps a day, and more than likely that will also go up to about 20,000. I'm pretty sure that is pretty much everything you could possibly want to know. I do have a specific goal, which is always going to be, I want to look better than my last package. I want to have grown my glutes and my legs, which I really hope I have done. I think I have, but you know, I will only know that when I'm actually super lean and my legs turn back into little toothpicks again. But right now, I think I have grown my legs a little bit in the last 6 months, so that's very exciting. My long-term ultimate goal is to win a crown, and I don't really care how long it takes me to do that. I love competing, so this is just another goal, I guess, just to set the bar a little bit higher in the long-term scheme of things. I would love to win a crown one day, but that being said, for this show specifically, all I ever care about is looking better than my last package. So looking more muscular than I did in Bali and having my posing make my legs and glutes look bigger. That's all I can hope for. What's my supplement regime? I have a Monster energy drink and I have an Oxy Shred and I take creatine, and that's about it. I do not have a lot of actual supplements that I take on the regular, besides like I will take BCAAs because I like the taste, not because I feel like they're, you know, life-changing or anything like that. I just live off of caffeine. So basically Oxy Shred, that's it. How did I go from placing second to winning my pro card? So I had about a year, I think. No, I had like exactly a year between the shows, and basically my feedback was to grow my lower body. I had good conditioning. They were really happy with my package. So I basically just kept going. So I just kept on going to the gym. I did multiple PT sessions for leg day specifically, so that way I could really push myself grow my glutes a little bit more. And then the next year I just, you know, practice my posing a little bit more. I feel like every time you do a show or a prep, you get better and better and better because you're always working on yourself. And obviously I came second, so they clearly liked my look enough for me to come second. So it was just about continuing the process and then just trying again, and I got rewarded, which is amazing. What's your favorite thing about prepping for a show? I genuinely think it's the routine and ticking these boxes every single day and kind of proving to yourself that you can actually do something that is hard. That's my favorite thing about prepping. I always get this like euphoria during prep as well, when I'm kind of like starving and I'm hungry, but I'm just in a really happy mood. And I think it's because I'm really proud of myself for kind of sticking to the plan, and you're seeing progress every day or every week. So it's something to feel really good about. And I get this like real euphoria like during prep where I'm just like, oh my God, like doing the same shit every day and being in a routine and just feeling good. That's my favorite thing. I've heard your life completely changes. It 100% does, but I don't think it's necessarily for better or for worse. In my opinion, I'm so much more confident. I'm so much happier. I've got this sense of belonging and purpose in my life that I previously didn't really have. So I feel like prepping does change your life. It changes everything about you. You have to kind of push yourself really hard and do this thing that not everyone understands. You might lose friends, you might lose relationships even. I know in my previous relationship, one of the biggest struggles was the fact that I lived in my own little bubble of going to the gym, going to work, going to the gym again, doing my meal prep, can't hang out, can't go on dates, can't do so many things that you would normally be able to do with your friends and your loved ones. And yeah, your life does change. But in my opinion, I've never been happier and I've never been prouder of myself every single time I compete. So I think it's for the best, personally. Were you expecting your life to change as much as it did? I mean, the first time I ever competed, I didn't really think my life was going to be so different, as in like my personality wasn't going to change, or, you know, I was just doing this thing as like this little side hobby. But the self-development you get from doing something like this was quite shocking, and like how much more confident I am in who I am, not just as an athlete, but like as a person. Yeah, it's my life is so different to how it was, you know, 5-6 years ago when I started competing. But that's also natural. Like that's just a passage of time thing as well, and like maturing and getting older. Biggest lesson from my last prep. I had a really good last prep, honestly. I had such a good time. Everything just seemed to work well last prep. So I was genuinely so stoked with my package. I was so stoked with the improvements I had made, because mentally I felt so much better about, you know, my prep as a whole. Biggest lesson. I really prioritized like my relationships, as in like with my friends, a lot more in my last prep. I think sometimes you kind of isolate yourself and you get very lonely, but honestly, one of the best distractions from being hungry is to hang out with your friends. If you're not like going to a restaurant, for example, you don't have to think about food. So I really distracted myself quite a lot. Like I spent a lot of time with my friends at the gym, or going for walks, or I don't know, just hanging out with people. So that way I felt mentally stimulated and I wasn't thinking about food. That's probably like my biggest thing I did differently last prep. And I had so much fun. I had such fun prep last time. Also, no matter what life drama you have going on, you can still have the best time at a show. Doesn't matter if you got broken up with the week of your competition. Literally doesn't matter, because like in the grand scheme of things, you won't remember the sadness. All you'll remember is how elated you were and how much fun you had on show day. So don't let like life happen. Like don't let the life drama take away from what a positive experience it could be. When you're losing weight, do you suffer from hair loss? I literally have no hair anyway, so I'm sure I probably do have a little bit of hair loss because your body does get to that point of almost like malnourishment. It's not going to be putting its energy into growing your hair and your nails and even having a period and stuff like that. So if you're getting to that point of leanness, more than likely your body will be suffering at some point. That being said though, I genetically have the thinnest, finest hair. It is because of my mother. Thank you, mother. And you know, absolutely fragile nails. So I have extensions and I have my nails done because that is the only way to combat those things. If I had my natural hair out, I would have a ponytail like this big, like nothingness. I also bleach my hair, so that absolutely destroys it. So I'm sure I do have some kind of hair loss, but I don't notice it because I've got 240 grams of someone else's hair in my head. So thank you so much for listening and watching. If you have made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. If you do have any other comments or questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave them down below or message me on Instagram. And other than that, I hope you're all having a really great day and I will see you next time. Bye!